This is Riders the 92. This is episode 5. This is Fratton Park, and this is a raw, honest look at Portsmouth Football Club. And welcome to the old girl. What do you think of it? She looks nice. Looks good. So guys, we have been here before, we've done a stadium tour, but we've never actually experienced match day at Fratton Park, and it's supposed to be one of the best atmospheres in English football. So then guys, Portsmouth have only ever played their football here at Fratton Park. They've been playing here since it opened in 1899. And did you know it hosted the very first evening English Football League game under floodlights and artificial lighting? It also was the first ground to introduce trenches around the pitch to try and control pitch invaders, crowd trouble. I'm stood out in public and I look like an absolute weirdo chatting to the camera, so let's go and have a look. Cue the montage. Well, give me a thumbs up. Friendly stuff. Thanks, girls. Right then guys, Pompey, Portsmouth FC, do their own lager by the looks of it. I think it's a lager, let me just taste. I'll be honest, I'm no connoisseur when it comes to pints, but for £5.25, not a bad start. Cheers to, hopefully, a great experience. Let's go and have a little wander around, shall we? So guys, the last time we came here was around 2 years ago for that stadium tour, and I'm pretty sure this fan zone was not here. The stadium tour started over there in the corner, so this is a really nice addition. You can see you've got food, drink, you've got all sorts going on over there, and again, a nice surprise to see they do their own drink. I'll be honest, that pint wasn't the best, a bit of a dodgy pint to start with, but we will persist and try others as the episode goes on. Now, whilst we're here outside Fratton Park, we mentioned it opened in 1899. Did you know the very first game to be played here at Fratton Park was against their arch rivals Southampton? They began their journey here at Fratton Park with a win. They won 2-0 on that first game of the season. So a good start. It's also the only English football ground in England, of course, located not on mainland Britain. Of course, most of Portsmouth, the city, is located on Portsea Island, literally an island. And Portsmouth, the city, also has the claim of being the only city predominantly located off mainland Britain. I hope that makes sense. Basically, it's on a bloody island. It's unique, just like the stadium. And again, I'm absolutely buzzing to get inside. You can probably see in the distance, you've got some of Portsmouth's history. Although this opened in 1899, officially they were founded in 1898. Obviously, they had to put together a plan of attack, built this place, and then away they went. Now, a lot of you will remember their most recent FA Cup win over there in 2008, but did you know they won it previously in 1939? They were actually the champions of England, won the First Division, what's now the Premier League, all the way back in 1949, and again, back to back in 1950. So, although they've had their struggles in more recent years, falling down the leagues, I very much believe this club is back, and off the back of a good win this past weekend in Middlesbrough. Obviously, we were there for episode 3 of Riders the 92. Middlesbrough completely crumbling. Portsmouth nicked a late winner, really important for their survival in the Championship. Of course, today they go up against second place Ipswich, who look like, if they continue their good run of form off the back of winning the derby game versus Norwich, it's going to be a tough game for Portsmouth, but this is very much an important game in Portsmouth's survival and for Ipswich getting promoted back to the Premier League. So this not only is going to be great just for the fact that we're at Fratton Park, but the game itself has something on the line for both bloody clubs. Let's keep exploring. I'm really enjoying this. Now, obviously, I always do some research before coming to each ground and experiencing each club. And from memory, when we were here a couple of years ago, I swear this is an old floodlight that they've kept in memory. I know there's some history behind this, so Portsmouth fans, get involved in the comments below. Was this an old floodlight? It's quite a long way away from the pitch. Maybe it's there to signify that claim we've just mentioned, the first English Football League game it to be played in an evening under floodlights. I'd love for that to be the case. I love history. And if you do love history, you'll know the name Archibald Leach, the famous Scottish architect who designed football grounds. I know maybe one of his stands might still be remaining. I believe it was the one that we started with, over with the Tudor style exterior, but I think it might have burned down. We'll leave that one for now. Let's keep moving. So, seeing Milton Road on a sign has reminded me of a fact I remember saying in the last video. The area we're in is classed as Milton in Portsmouth. It's obviously called Fratton Park, and apparently the strategy when naming the ground Fratton Park was to make it seem closer to the train station, made it seem accessible to the Fratton train station, which is still quite a walk away. I did see some Ipswich fans walking from that station on the way in. Again, if I make any mistakes, guys, correct me by all means. We're now going to head to the club shop, which I remember is over there, because remember, on each episode of Riders the 92, we must tick off the 3 Ps. Obviously, we've had a pint already. We need to experience or taste a pie, but we also need to pick up a pin badge from the club shop. So let's go. Here we go then, guys. Pin badge secured. Now this was the only pin badge left in the shop. It literally just says Pompey. Now I swear last time we came here I bought a pin badge. It might have been a set of darts, I can't remember. But hey, last pin badge in the shop. Can't moan about that, at least we've got one. So we've ticked off 2 of the 3 Ps. We'll probably get a pie when we go inside and take our seat. 3 Ps, job done, but that's not the only thing we need to do. Obviously each time we come to a ground, to a stadium, we need to rate the experience based on 4 categories: fan atmosphere, stadium aesthetics, food and drink, and matchday experience. We do that a week later, so make sure you are subscribed, because in the next episode we'll rate Portsmouth. But how did West Brom and the Hawthorns do in episode 4? Let's find out. Right then, guys, I'm currently outside the driving test centre. Oh yes, you know I'm a driving instructor as a day job. I've got a student in there, or he's out and about, he's on his test, but he is a big Wolves fan. That's my only concern. Is he going to bottle it? Is he going to throw away any chances of success? Obviously, Wolves have had a disaster of a season in the Premier League. I think the Wolves fan is going to perform a little bit better than Wolverhampton Wanderers have done. But how will their arch rivals, West Brom, perform in the Riders the 92 rankings? Well, let's find out, because in terms of fan atmosphere, I'm going to sound harsh. We rate each category out of 5. Now, bear with me. I'm going to give them a slightly harsh 2 out of 5. I know you're going to take offence to that, West Brom fans. The Smethwick end was bouncing with the drum. I know not all of you like a drum for fan atmosphere, but the stand we were in, was it the East stand, was a little bit quiet. The stand to our right and the far end, they were both really, really quiet. And I thought for a Friday night important game where West Brom are fighting for survival, I thought they could have done a bit more. But that said, it wasn't a bad atmosphere. And with your permission, if we do allow ratings with a 0.5, I would have given them a 2.5, middle of the road out of 5. But that's down to you. At the moment, we're going to say 2 out of 5, because I'm going to give them a generous 4 out of 5 for the stadium aesthetic, the way the Hawthorns looks. For me, it's a no-nonsense, traditional English football ground with 4 individual stands. We've got the Smethwick end, where both the hardcore West Brom fans with the drum are, and the away fans, in our case, the Millwall fans, worse. It's a no-nonsense, not a very pretty stand, but I do like the aesthetics of West Brom's ground. The Astle gates as you come in, really nice touch. I think that main side on the road, having the next match sign up there, is quite unique as well. Food and drink, I've gone for £3. Now the Madry was a little bit pricey at £6.40. They did serve Carlin, as we mentioned, for £5.40. I probably should have tried the old pale ale, that was £6.40, but it was a really good concourse area. Somebody did comment that the concourse is better than the new Everton Stadium, Bramley-Moore Dock. For an old school ground, West Brom, cracking concourse, prices to be expected at a championship football ground, but by no means cheap. Finally, match day experience. Of course, we got our pin badge. They had a great shop. I'm also looking at the toilets, facilities, those sort of things for a match day experience. Really good. Again, access in and out the ground was fairly good. Took a while to get away after the final whistle, but in terms of match day experience, despite the drab 0-0, thoroughly enjoyable. 3, which means, now I feel guilty no matter what I rate a club, which gives us a total of 12 out of 20, which gives West Brom 1 more point than the previous episode in Middlesbrough. I do feel harsh because that game, Middlesbrough versus Millwall, was an incredible game. The Borough fans were on fire in that south stand. And I do feel like maybe the fact that Middlesbrough have 11 out of 20 and a drab 0-0 game gives West Brom 12 out of 20. Is that a little harsh? Let us know in the comments below. We can tweak these ratings with your input as well, but it does put West Brom in second place behind Oldham, who've maintained their spot at the top, Middlesbrough in third, and of course Cheltenham Town in fourth. Now, where will Pompey finish? Let's get back to Portsmouth in a moment and find out. Make sure you are subscribed as well, because we will be doing the Pompey ratings in the next episode, which was going to be in Millwall. I was going to be at the Millwall QPR game. Unfortunately, I've got some stuff on this weekend, but I think it's worked out for the best, because hopefully we'll tip Millwall off when they're in the playoffs. Let's get back to Fratton Park. Let's go. Right guys, I don't normally film in a pub, but I thought I would try a pint from what Google suggested to be a Portsmouth FC pub. Nice pint of beer Moretti. Right guys, so I've made my way to the beer garden, drinking my £5.60 beer Moretti. Not too bad at all. Yeah, it's a nice vibe in here. You can hear a bit of Oasis, Morning Glory going on in the background. I've not got my Oasis shades on today. In terms of a boozer, it's your typical pre-match boozer. I can't see too many nods to Portsmouth Football Club. We went to the Oldham pub nearby a couple of weeks ago. There were loads of stuff on the wall, Joe Royal pictures. There's a few Portsmouth FC pictures by the toilets. Portsmouth fans, where is the go-to boozer before match day? Let us know in the comments below. Cheers. I think I spoke a little early, guys. You've got some more pictures here. We spoke about those FA Cup wins. We've got the 2008 one over there. We've got a really old picture over here. And then this looks like one of those early FA Cup wins over here. So, nice. Cheers, boys. Thanks very much. Right guys, yeah, not a bad pub. Let's head over back to Fratton Park. Let's see if the matchday atmosphere has picked up at the stadium. We've got about a 15-minute walk, so again, I do like to visit a pub prior to the game. I just wish they were a little bit closer. Right guys, earlier on I said about calling the stadium Fratton Park because they wanted to appeal to those coming to the Fratton train station, and I said it was a really long walk. It was a little bit deceiving. Well, let's find that out. Here's the train station. Now we're on our way to the ground. How long is it going to take? This is why you shouldn't rely upon Wikipedia for your resource of information. I mean, Google Maps says 12 minutes from the train station. It's hardly a long walk, is it, 12 minutes? Obviously, I'm from Cheltenham, and if you were to walk from the Cheltenham train station to Wadham Road, the home of Cheltenham Town Football Club, it's going to take you a lot longer than 12 minutes, probably like an hour. So we'll let Portsmouth off on that one. I mean, in theory, if you've got the train, you're probably going to get off here. So it would be even less than 12 minutes, wouldn't it, really? So in terms of local celebrities, I guess none are more famous than that famous Pompey fan who wears the hat. John, well, let's get his official name, John Anthony, Portsmouth Football Club, Westwood. The most famous fan of Portsmouth Football Club. I wonder if we'll see him today. Let's find out. So obviously, we all remember Portsmouth in the Premier League with Harry Redknapp as the manager, some fantastic players. But again, if you're not a die-hard EFL fan of English football, you'd have probably overlooked the fact that off the back of some of that success in the Premier League, we mentioned the 2008 FA Cup win. They of course fell all the way down the leagues, almost to non-league. Again, we referenced Oldham, who were the first Premier League side to go to non-league. That was almost the case with Portsmouth, all the way down to League Two. Terrible ownership, financial struggles, but they got things sorted. They got things back on track, and of course, getting back to the Championship was monumental. And I think survival this season will only build their confidence to build over the next few years. And I'm positive that Portsmouth can return to the Premier League. And what a return that will be. It will be awesome to see Portsmouth back in the Premier League. Let me see that programme, mate. Let me see that programme. Top man. Cheers, buddy. Again, I might be 36 years old, but I'm definitely an old soul. Definitely born in the wrong era. The fact that physical programmes are a dying breed.
92 and you go around.
That's it, mate. That's it. Yeah, I tell you what. You have a picture of you can get on my video. You a Pompey fan?
Yeah, I'm a Pompey fan. I saw your video at Middlesbrough the other week.
Good man. Hey, you beat Middlesbrough?
Yeah.
Or are you going to beat Ipswich today?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I reckon 2-1 win.
I reckon you're going to win. Middlesbrough are crumbling. Middlesbrough are awful at the moment, aren't they?
Thanks.
Give me a score prediction.
Ooh, yeah, 2-1.
2-1. 2-1.
What do you
reckon, mate?
I reckon a draw. I reckon 1-1.
Top man. Hey, do you know what? For years I've been wanting to visit Fratton Park.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely buzzing for this. I'm really excited.
Great atmosphere.
Ipswich on a roll though. They're on a roll at the moment. Guys, 11 minutes. That just shows everything I mentioned earlier is absolute bollocks. It's only like a 10-minute walk from the train station to the ground. Can't moan about that, surely. And something else I can't moan about. You know, we said earlier we could only get that one pin badge from the club shop. Over there in the fan zone, I might have just got me a second pin badge. Here we go. A nice crest pin badge. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the other one, but I really wanted a crest pin badge. £4.50, job done. 2 pin badges, 2 points. Let's go and get 2 pies. We're in this stand, we're in the north stand lower. If the gates are open, let's get in, let's go. Right guys, the third P, the pie. I've gone for, shit, it's absolutely scalding. I've got a beef and cheddar pie. £4.95, so a little bit more expensive than West Brom last week. I don't mind the price being a little dearer, so long as it delivers on the taste. Scalding hot, just as I like it. Well worth the £4.95. The beef is minced beef. Very, very nice indeed. Right then guys, that pie was incredible by the way. What you can see in the distance is the Fratton end. Now this stand was reopened in 1998. In 1997 they completely demolished the old stand, obviously off the back of the Taylor report. English football was being pushed towards all-seater stadiums. And yes, this opened in 1998 with an opening ceremony, which also marked 100 years of the club. Of course, it was their 100th anniversary, being founded in 1898. The opening ceremony came in a league game versus Birmingham City. Now, you might see in the distance there's some seating arrangements. That's to mark former player manager Jimmy Dickinson. Again, you can't see it very well from this view over here. But yeah, so I say it's a fairly modern, but that's still almost 30 years old, this stand. And it's where hopefully we're going to see a really lively atmosphere. Now on the opposite end, I'll spin the camera around, you've got the Milton end over there in the distance. Now that's also where the Ipswich fans will be tonight, the away end. Obviously we saw the beautiful front, the beautiful turnstiles of the away end earlier on. And again, over there you can see the clock tower. Now, I mean, I don't have any smoke and mirrors on this channel. You know, I do use Wikipedia for my resource of information. Now, apparently, in 1983, Cardiff City fans climbed the scoreboard. Okay, so it's not that stand. You can see a clock, but apparently the old scoreboard was over there, and Cardiff City fans climbed the back of the Milton end when it was terracing and stole the hands on the Milton end clock. If we look now, I can't see any clocks. Obviously that was stolen by the Cardiff City fans apparently, but they have a clock over there. Beautiful old school grandstand. Again, that looks like an Archibald Leach design. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. That's very much an Archibald Leach looking stand. Very similar to the Johnny Haynes stand in Fulham, the Stevenage Road side stand. We bumped into some Pompey fans, subscribers of the channel. Shout out to you guys who do come up to me when I make these videos. My own personal score prediction, again, Ipswich are on a roll despite that late winner for Portsmouth. I know it's going to be tough. I'm going to go with a draw today, guys. I'm going to sit on the fence and say Portsmouth Football Club 1, Ipswich 1. Well then guys, I was going to say that this game looked like it was only going to be a draw. Both teams a little bit cagey. Obviously a point probably would suit both teams, and I was really worried none of them would push enough men forward for the attack. But 2-0 Pompey, really wasn't expecting that. Got myself a hot dog, $5.95. All those greats, guys, all those shirts. All the good times returning to Fratton Park. Right then, guys, I've walked half an hour in the wrong direction getting home, but I'm still very happy with today nonetheless. That's been episode 5 of Riders the 92. Now episode 6 was going to be in Millwall this weekend versus QPR, but I thought, you know what, Ipswich might win today. Millwall will have to battle out in the playoffs, so I'll put that on hold. We're going to be in Millwall hopefully for a playoff game, which means episode 6 will come next week in Bradford, aka apparently Europe's most dangerous city, but with incredible fans just like today. Portsmouth, it was a pleasure. If you're new around here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, see you soon.